The historical legacy of Juneteenth. On Freedom's Eve, or the eve of January 1st, 1863, the first watch night services took place. On that night, enslaved and free African Americans gathered in churches and private homes all across the country awaiting news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. At the stroke of midnight, prayers were answered as all enslaved people in Confederate states were declared legally free. Union soldiers, many of whom were black, marched onto plantations and across cities in the South, reading copies of the Emancipation Proclamation, spreading the news of freedom in Confederate states. Only through the 13th Amendment did emancipation end slavery throughout the United States. But not everyone in Confederate territory would immediately be free. Even though the Emancipation Proclamation was made effective in 1863, it could not be implemented in places still under Confederate control. As a result, in the westernmost Confederate state of Texas, enslaved people would not be free until much later. Freedom finally came on June 19, 1865, when some 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas. The Army announced that more than 250,000 enslaved black people in the state were free by executive decree. This day came to be known as Juneteenth by the newly freed people in Texas. The post-emancipation period, known as Reconstruction, 1865 to 1877, marked an era of great hope, uncertainty, and struggle for the nation as a whole. Formerly enslaved people immediately sought to reunify families, establish schools, run for political office, push radical legislation, and even sue slaveholders for compensation. Given the 200-plus years of enslavement, such changes were nothing short of amazing. Not even a generation out of slavery, African Americans were inspired and empowered to transform their lives and their country. Juneteenth marks our country's second Independence Day. Although it has been long celebrated in the African American community, this monumental event remains largely unknown to most Americans. The historical legacy of Juneteenth shows the value of never giving up hope in uncertain times. To preface this interview, before anyone gets too worried this is my virtue signaling PC episode, I just want y'all to take a deep breath. We're not going to be covering the intricate details of Juneteenth's history, nor are we going to be speaking on any philosophy of racial relations. I'm not going to be providing any political solutions to try to make up for over 200 years of a disregard of human life. I'm just going to be talking to a buddy that I respect, and I want you to hear his perspective. So just sit in with me, because that's what we're going to be honky talking about today.
Texas up to Cali, Georgia to Mizzou, Denver back to Bama, down to Baton Rouge. If it's dust on the floor and Jones on the juke, girl, every honky tonks talking about you.
All right, well, for anyone who doesn't know who Jaylene is, my good buddy, Jaylene Dixon. We are some honky tonk hellraisers, and we'll talk about that at the end. But have you been in Texas your whole life, Jaylene?
Yes, I've been in Texas my whole life. The farthest I've been out of Texas besides here is Oklahoma. So It's my first time going out of Texas.
Wow, that's huge. And where in Texas are you from?
Beaumont, Texas, small town next to Houston in Louisiana.
Okay, so you're southern
Yeah.
Texas. Jeez. Okay, what was growing up down there like for you?
Honestly, it was good but bad. Beaumont's like it's country.
Oh, okay.
It's country out there, but it's also you got your bad parts just like anywhere else. But
Yeah.
Beaumont has a little more bad parts than a lot of other places. But
Jeez. What did you do a lot growing up?
so you know how there's those little boxes, the AC boxes or whatever, outside the front yard in the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Me and my friends, we used to always meet up out there and just go play around. And so the street lights came on, and then we had to run home.
Oh, classic raising. Did you play any like sports? Do you have any interest growing up? You got really
Yeah,
into?
I actually played basketball and football and a little bit of baseball when I was growing up.
Okay. Did you fall in love with any of those or
Football, I loved.
football? And what were you,
That's
wide
where
receiver?
I did a lot of position actually. I did middle linebacker, safety, all of special teams, and wide receiver.
You were a middle linebacker?
Yeah.
Did
Dude,
you have a Do you have
I
a neck
used to,
pad?
huh?
Do you have a neck pad on?
I used to pop motherfuckers. I
Oh
used to
my gosh.
like,
That's crazy though. But I mean, you can lay a hit on people. It's just a fact of like weight. The fact that you got
yeah.
to fill those slots and you were
I was,
taking that.
yeah, I was small, but I could make some stuff shake.
Okay,
Make
so
some
you weren't
stuff.
as tall as you are now when you were playing it.
No,
Oh, okay, so that makes a little more sense. I'm just saying from from me playing rugby, man,
yeah.
at my height, I hate in those roles because it is very difficult to get low on people. You know, were you down there? Were you always raised around like agrarian culture? Were you raised on a farm, or did you kind of that come later on in life?
It was like a mix. Like it was mostly whenever I was around my papa, then that's when I was more around the agriculture
Yeah.
countryside. And then you got my other family. They're country, but they're also like ghetto country, I guess.
Okay. And what did Papa do? What was
Papa,
his?
he ran around with cattle. He used to rodeo also. So me and him are the only ones that have rodeoed in our family. So I
Okay.
guess I would say I'm the next first generation since it like stopped after
Skipped a
him.
generation. Yeah. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
what was your rodeo and what did you do?
I did bareback and bull riding.
Lambo riding. Dang. Okay. So you're a roughie. We love it.
Yeah.
We love it. And so where are you at right now? What are you doing there?
Out in Alaska.
Yeah. So you're
I'm
out in
helping.
Alaska. Sorry, not everyone knows this. So
Yeah.
that was what you were talking about. First time out of the state of
Okay.
Texas. You're in Alaska. What part?
I'm in Palmer, Alaska. The weather is amazing. First trip out of Texas. I love it.
I
The
love
scenery
that.
is crazy.
I can only imagine. Is this your first time seeing mountains?
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, dude, if I could experience seeing mountains for the first time again, jeez. That would
Sure. And I'm excited
it's
to.
like nothing else.
I'm gonna go horseback riding around the mountains pretty soon in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Have you been hydrating a lot? Or is there
Huh?
much altitude? Have you been hydrating a lot?
Yeah.
I don't, dude, altitude sickness is one thing. Like, I like to think I'm pretty strong, but altitude sickness is probably like my greatest weakness, man. I get hit with it hard.
Yeah. It's gonna be exciting. And then they said they're gonna take us on a helicopter ride, so I'm gonna experience that too. No, I'm just
What?
knocking things off my bucket list while I'm out here, honestly.
Hey, that's how you gotta do it. Take advantage of the time you have there. Like, that's crazy. And are you on a contract?
Yeah, I'm here until September.
Okay. So just summer. I love that. I love that. Well, let's jump into the meat of the conversation. Now,
Get it?
it's classic in this culture. It's very PC. But you and I, we've always seen each other as equal. You know, we've never
Yeah.
seen anything different of one another, and we understand, like most agrarian folks, the words "black cowboy" together.
Yeah.
That's not rare. You know, that's natural. That's historical.
Yeah.
But you know, thanks to Hollywood, a lot of the world doesn't see it that way, and so.
Yeah.
Um, let's just knock this out. Let's just have this conversation. And again, like I told you, let's have it raw.
Yep.
Let's have a good conversation because it's what the people deserve.
I'll I'll tell you right now, Alaska has never really seen a black before. We actually went to town. Me and two of the guys I work with. We went to this little Palmer bar out here, a small bar. It was like and it wasn't even like people inside of the culture of
Yeah.
cowboy and country boy. It was like some bikers. Like we went to a bar and then we're like grab a beer, play some pool, just mind our business. Not even fucking 3 minutes in, this biker, he's like starts chirping at me. He's like, "Black cowboy, blah blah blah. Never seen that. But, want to take a ride on my bike?" I was like, "What are you talking about, brother?"
Dude, that seems kind of weird.
And then yeah, he was
What?
just chirping weird stuff,
Oh
So
my
they don't
goodness.
have that many black people out here. So it's like different.
Well, I'm glad you get to be the epitome of what they know.
Yeah.
What other experiences like that do you have? Because again, like we're saying, people
Honky.
wouldn't see you as like the typical cowboy, and
Yeah.
that's on them. That's not on us. That's not on you
Yeah.
and I, because we know this. But what experiences do you have of running into that when people have that stereotype and then you walk in?
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't really had that many of those experiences. If it did come from somewhere, it never came from inside the culture. It always came from someone outside of it. I
Okay.
feel like everybody that I've met, like rodeoing and stuff like that, and working on ranches and stuff, everybody that I've met they've been welcoming and they've never had a problem with it. But it always comes down to the people that are not in the culture that pretend to be in the culture and they try to, yeah,
And it's just because they don't have the experience a lot of times because that's what was crazy is even in a small town like mine of Ozark, Arkansas, we still had every race represented. We had a lot more Asian population represented,
hmm
or even Pacific Islander represented. However, when it came to anything farming, we all sweat the same. So like
yeah,
if you're not working your hardest, we judge you then. And
yeah,
yes, there was racist everywhere. There's racist
yeah,
in the small town. There's racist in Dallas when I moved there. There's racist everywhere I've been. There's not
right,
around me. They're not in my circle, so I don't hear it much. And so that's why uh, I was interested to hear from you. And that's I love to hear that though. It's the same thing, not just in my small town, but everywhere that people see work ethic. They see
hmm
value in your hands and they see value in your words, and that's it. You know,
yeah.
and so you've experienced more outside the culture than in, and why do you think that is?
I feel like you see from what where I know is that cowboys really don't really see color. They see like what you said, how hard you work, what your passion is, just
Hmm.
doing this day by day, sticking to it, not being someone that just I don't know. I feel like the cowboys they understand that it comes in all colors. Cowboying comes in all colors. People outside of that don't understand that that's how it is nowadays, and that's how
Hmm.
it was back then. They just didn't see it as much as now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's black cowboys were the first to transition out of vaqueros in the northern
Mm.
Mexico region to bring cowboy into us, and so I mean, I'm pretty sure there's even periods where it was looked down upon, which is
Yeah,
why only the black cowboys were the ones doing it until we started realizing we could expand westward, you know, and we
yep,
had a lot of foreigners come over and immigrate into mainly Texas and Kansas City, and they saw that moving west, they're willing to do
yep,
that hard work, and they worked alongside black cowboys, and they learned it all. So yeah, that's huge. And so on the topic of Juneteenth, which happened yesterday, how if at all, do you celebrate? Do you know a lot? Like, how much do you value Juneteenth and how do you express that?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't celebrate it.
Mhm.
I really. It's gonna sound horrible, I guess. You know, I didn't even know what the heck it was when you said it. I mean, I knew that it was like something along those lines, but I didn't really didn't. I really didn't know. I was like, I had to
Well,
look it
well,
up.
well, to be honest, it's one of those things, and a lot of the U.S. doesn't. I mean, Biden in 2021 finally made
Yeah,
it a national holiday, but it really was only known because it was carried on by African American culture. So, I mean, you don't see it until like the 80s that it really started becoming. I think the 80s is when Texas made it a state holiday, but I don't think there's anything. I mean, I have no say. I don't think there's any discredit to not knowing. It's the fact that you carry yourself a certain way, and that's what I've seen though is how now that you have studied a little bit or seen about the details of it, you
yeah.
know, and how it affected Texas, and
hmm
you know, those 2 to 3 years of continuing what the war was fought for, but yet that carried over still into Texas. Do you think that affects our culture today with cowboying and how we live, you know, you and I?
Yeah, I think it. I think it kind of affects it a little bit, just because people are in that mindset.
Some, right? Because
Some,
again,
yeah,
that's the whole point we're trying to have here
yeah,
is
yeah,
for folks who don't experience it much. I think you agree with me when I say that honky tonking, agrarian culture, cowboy and farming, red state, anything there, that is not synonymous with the word racist. There's racist in
yeah,
every facet of the US, and therefore we're trying to break that stigma. We're trying to show that you and I have never looked at each other in any type of disrespect because of the way we look, nor because of
yeah,
any background culture we might have. We don't think that certain terms are carried over because of our background. We just work together. This
oh
is
yeah,
what we do. And we have fun together because we honky tonk, right? And
exactly.
so to really round the bases and cover it all, Juneteenth is meant to be a celebrating and mourning day, right? And that is what really honky tonking should be. So I'm curious, like, what was your first experience? You know, dancing, traditional country dancing, or honky tonking? Like, tell me about your experiences.
Mhm. Uh, so. My first time in the stockyards was maybe a good 7 or so years ago, and I was just I've never been to a club before that, and my buddy Dylan, I got to shout out my boy Dylan. He he was like, "Hey, come out with me." This was when Neon was still open. Neon was my first bar that I went to down there, and I went to
Okay.
Neon, and then I was like, "Dude, I want to learn how to country dance. This looks great," because everybody loved it. Like everybody loved it. I was like, "I want to learn how to do this," and then I got into it, and I was like, "Okay, I love this." I had like one good spin in me for a good year, one good spin, and then I was like, "I love this." And then I'll see people doing other moves, and I'll see it. I'm like, "I want to learn that." And how I did it was I'll see a move that I like, and I'll only do that. I'll only do that move, practice it, get it
Yeah.
down, and then I'll add another move. I won't move to the next move until I get that first move down.
Yeah.
But I fell in love with it for sure. My
I
first
love that.
honky tonk, I wouldn't count Neon as honky tonk, but I guess my first honky tonk was Cadillac and Cowboy Channel and stuff like that.
There you go. And
Those,
what do you
those,
qualify as a honky tonk? Like how would you
well,
describe it?
I would say honky tonk to me is like a little more that people that respect each other in a good way that don't like stand on the floor. They know that you shouldn't stand on the floor. If a country song is on, don't stand on the floor. Like if I say somewhere like PRs or something like that, they don't have respect for it. So a honky tonk to me is the respecting of others and others around you and knowing the rules of not standing on the floor and just, having
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, that's what's crazy, right? Is that also goes for the same in the radio. That goes for
Yeah.
the same when we eat in a restaurant or when
Yep.
we walk down the street or when we eat at someone's home, right? Like that's
Yep.
what I love is that Western culture, agrarian culture is based in that foundational thing of respect.
Yep.
Respect people, respect property. Uh, it carries over in everything we do. Uh,
Yeah.
Speaking on that, where with music, country music being on, who would you say is like some of your top like artists that you're loving right now?
Like now
Any,
making
well,
music.
not like current, but I'm saying like right
Like,
now, like you're gonna go out
mm,
dancing, you know,
I,
what are we listening to? What are we liking?
I love dancing to Keith Woodley. Freaking was damn it. I was Zach Top's really good. I love Zach. Him and Braxton Keith. I feel like they're bringing back that old Western. I love dancing to them. Some good Morgan Wallen songs. There's a few of them that I love dancing to.
Yeah,
Who else? If I want to dance to like some like slow pace ones, I would listen to some Josh Ward.
there you
You
go.
know, Josh Ward's really good.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going fast, Parker McCollum has some good fast ones.
Yeah.
Mm,
I love it.
yeah,
What
there's
would
some
you
good
say
ones.
your favorite decade of country music probably is? Because you named a lot right there. You named from the
Yeah,
70s, 80s up to current.
yeah. I'll say my favorite is from I'll say 70s, 90s for sure. I love me some Alan Jackson. Fucking Charlie Crockett's real good. Um, George Strait, George Jones,
Yeah.
all the good, all the
Okay, so
legends.
you're like we're 70s and 90s.
Yeah,
You like classic country. I love that. I
yeah,
love it. And that's what you're saying about Zach and Braxton is that they're bringing back that classic sound, and that's what I love most that they're not just doing covers. Like they're
yeah,
creating new music that sounds old, but it has
yeah.
new stuff to it. They're not just playing like cosplaying. They
Hmm.
are truly about it, and they're about that life. And
Yep.
you can quiz them on it, and they know a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so now we can get into an area where like you and I might disagree a little bit, but I'm curious when
Hmm.
you're seeing these honky tonks, where do you see that we in the past like 7 to 8 years, like you were saying, where are some of your favorite growths that we've had as a honky tonk? And maybe some of your least favorite digressions that we've had as a honky tonk, in country dancers in the community.
I'll start off with my least. Like, I hate that they play rap and other stuff way more than country music in the stockyards
Okay.
at these bars because I come out to country dance and I'm like, okay, I love to like dance, get live with my boys, but I love to country dance way more. And I come out to country dance. So
Yeah,
I would love it if they played mostly country. Like they can still play
of
rap and
course.
stuff, but at least play more country. Like you're in the
Yeah.
stockyard, people come down for that experience.
Yeah. And what about your favorite growths that we had? Because obviously we've entered a country renaissance right about the time you started dancing. 2016 we really started growing, but 2020, 2021 we really hit a good stride, and now we're running.
Mhm.
Now we're like mainstream of how cool country is. And so where do you see that we've had some great growth, or your favorite thing that you're seeing now?
I'll say my favorite thing is. I mean, there's good. That's a toughie. That's a tough one.
Well, I think you'd agree with mine because I'm loving that I'm hearing, even in the stockyards, I'm starting to hear like Zach Top being played. Like this
Yeah.
new country music, they're not just playing 2000s country to make it seem like they're pandering. They're
Hmm.
playing like the new stuff and it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I
I
think
agree.
I
Yeah.
completely agree with you that it's two sides of the same coin. That on one side, for too long, we have pandered to the tourist, even in the
Hmm.
stockyards. To me, the last kingdom of cowboys, we've pandered, and but also on the flip side, we have started playing new good music. Everything people
Yep.
are just kind of tapping into it, and I'm even seeing like Billy Bob's. They'll have line dancing nights and they'll play a lot of hip hop. However, I used to only go when they played live music because I did not like the music they played. Like the DJ would just play hip hop, but now they're playing some decent music.
I'll have to go check it out because I only go for concerts like live music. That's all I go for.
Yeah, I'm about to go
Because
tonight to
other than
Paul
that,
Wall.
yeah. You went to
We'll see.
Paul?
I'm going to Paul Wall tonight. We'll see how
Okay.
he does.
Okay. Dude,
Well,
because they have so many rules there. It's so stupid, and I think that's what made me just not want to go there unless it's a concert, like a good concert. I
yeah,
remember I go in, I have my sheath on, and I don't have my knife on because I already know the rules. You can't have a knife, and I'm dancing. This guy, he comes up one of the bodyguard things, and he's like, "You gotta take your sheath off." I was like, "My knife's not even in it, dude." And he's like, "Well, I don't care. You gotta take it off." I was like, "Okay, whatever." And I take off my belt on the dance floor, take my sheath off, and then all the other workers, they're like, "You didn't have to do that." He's just going around and he's all mad today or something and just messing up people's night, I guess. I'm like,
jeez.
whatever, dude.
Yeah, that's what's latest is there was Josh Turner. He always has a bad crowd come out that just doesn't know honky tonk etiquette. And there was a time I talked to the guards before, and all the security had learned about like, oh, there's people that stand on the floor, and there's also alcohol that gets drunk. So for the first like 30 minutes of just random music being played, Josh is about to come on, but before Josh comes on, the floor's pretty empty, everything's great. But this guy's out there, he is being stiff on people, right? And I'm like, yes, let's go. We have a guy out there, he's going to protect the floor. But he was such a stickler that me complaining actually came back and bit me because I had my spit cup and I
Yeah.
crossed the floor like a corner. I took like 3 steps, I was across the floor, and he stopped me and he's like, hey, make sure you're not on the floor with that. And I was like, it's a spit cup. And he's like, I don't care. Don't bring it on the floor. I was like, okay. 5 minutes later, he leaves, right? And as he leaves, man, instantly people like I'm talking 5 seconds after he left, I saw someone with a beer walk across, and within 10 minutes we had beer spilled in 2 places. I was like, good job, brother. I love it, man. I love it. But geez, yeah, it's a different world, and you expect the stockyards to be better, but sometimes they feed right back into it. And that's the question I always ask people, and now I'm curious of you. Is like I tell people the reason I am such a stickler about playing country music is because every song that you play, hip hop, rap, we can't play country music during the same at the same time, right? So if
Yeah.
Cowboys can't two step during these 3 minutes, which it's never just 3 minutes, you know that. It
Yeah.
always turns into like 9,
Yeah.
12, 20, 30 minutes. Where are the Cowboys supposed to go to dance? So like if the
Exactly.
stockyards, if you're walking down there in the stockyards and there's not much going on, where do you feel like to go? Where do y'all want to go hang out? Or do y'all just give up on dancing and you just go play pool?
We just go play pool.
See, I hate that. I hate that. But if you had to dance, I'm forcing you to dance. Stockyards, it has that night where it's a bunch of hip hop. Where would you go to dance?
Ooh, what is it? Is it called Is it Longhorn? No,
Longhorn Saloon? The Reds
I
Longhorn?
think the one that's
Right.
right across from Thirsties.
There's yeah,
Yeah,
Reds.
that one.
Yeah. Okay, so
Longhorn's real
there's
good.
still a place in the long, yeah, there that is good. And I always say Pearls too on top of the hill. They play country music all night long. The issue with Longhorn, man, they go on a Saturday, $20 cover. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
my gosh, okay, I'll pay it. But like, geez, that's always hard. But
It's ridiculous.
golly, to make sure though other people can join us out there and feel comfortable too, where do you see that maybe us honky tonkers can be a little more welcoming? Or on the other side too, where do you feel that a lot of the people that feel left out or they really judge from the outside, where do you feel that they could be a little more open-minded? On both sides, where do you feel we could grow?
I feel like there's a lot of judgment, though. I think people, I guess, yes, be open minded, just be more welcoming. Like, if someone makes a mistake, don't just be like, don't cut them off, just help them out.
There you go.
But not that many people like to help people out. If someone asks me, hey, can you teach me how to dance? I'm like, heck yeah. Like, I'll see people, they'll think they're like top tier, and I'm like, you're not that good. Stop it. And then they'll be rude to the person that wants to learn. I'm like, don't be rude to them. You're not at a level to where you can, not even saying that there's levels to where you can be like mean to someone. Like, just teach someone that wants to learn the culture and learn how to dance. Like, I'll show someone how to dance no matter what. I'll tell them, hey, if it's a guy that wants to learn, I'll tell him, I can't dance with you because you're not going to learn that way. Just get a girl and mirror what I do, and then we can get after it.
Well, that's how honky tonking is, man. That's how I grew up learning. Was I would just watch a move, and I'd ask them how to do it. They do the move, I'd learn it, and then I'd teach them a move, and then we switched. Or they'd ask me to do a move, and I'd teach them, and then they'd buy me a beer. That's just how honky tonking is. But I know it's not just in DFW, but we have a great trend, like you're saying, of these people who they take a couple of lessons, they might even win a comp. And then they instantly think they can start charging like $80 for an hour. And it's like, bro, you're not there. Crazy. You're not there. So I don't even think it's about being mean. It's like, where do you think you're selling lessons, bro?
This damn low device stores think you popping up on screen.
Hey, don't worry about it. It'll be on my side because I'm saving it. I wouldn't worry at all. But I do think you completely hit the nail on the head. Is that open-minded people need to give another chance. And then people who are like regular honky tonkers need to be much more graceful with them. But that also means, on top of that, is the foundation. We all need to be unified and have a foundation of who we are as honky tonkers and what styles we do, how we move around the floor. Because again, if you go to certain floors, no one knows what the hell is going on. And that's not to say that, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, that honky tonks are perfect. There's always stuff that goes down, but it's like a universal understanding. It's kind of like traffic. We all understand what certain things mean, right? But that doesn't mean that everyone always follows it. However, we need to know that there's a right way to do it, and that's what we need to stick to. And that's all that matters. That's really it. And so, dude, I am extremely thankful you're taking some time to set aside and have for traditions for me as your friend to just talk it out and learn a little more about you. And I know we have 1,000 more things we could say and talk about, but I just really wanted to make sure to recognize Juneteenth is for you to be able to come on as the character you are and how outspoken you are, just about the culture as a whole, the experiences you've had, and to be able to maybe give someone an opportunity to reconsider their views of us as an agrarian culture, their understanding of the history of who we are, and then maybe where we're headed and what we're doing and what we're trying to do as agrarian culture. You know how closely tied honky tonking is to cowboys and ranchers and farmers. It's important that we dance right, we do right, and we respect each other. Jaylene, it's a pleasure. I can't wait for you to get back here. We'll get a little rowdy in September when you get here. But you enjoy that weather for me, please. We are sweating a lot over here. And I'll be looking forward to all the stories you're going to have when you come back.
Yes, sir.
You may not have known it, but your potatoes were under fire this past week, as East Idaho farmers fought for water rights to irrigate their crops. But luckily, just yesterday, June 20th, a mitigation was found, and now 330,000 acres in East Idaho have been saved from drought.